All right, Daisy. So this next lesson that we're going to do for my professor, it is strategy 13.12. What happened? What it makes me think T-chart. Okay. All right, Daisy. So when we read a story, it can be hard to keep track of important parts in the story and the reactions that you're having to it. Kind of like what we did in the last strategy. This is all about making sure that you are staying engaged in your reading. So today I'm going to show you another method of how to keep track of how the book or text is making you feel. We're going to use a T-chart today. So I'm going to share my screen here. I know you have it pulled up on yours. And if you want to pull up that Google Doc as well, I'll share my screen here. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as you can see here, we have a T-chart. And on the left side is things that we are going to pull from the text that we're reading. It could be a passage or a sentence. It could be an interesting language or word. It could be a quote. It could be a fact that you found interesting. It could be a main idea, a problem, anything from the text that happens, you can write down that makes you think, or that you think, oh, that's interesting. That all goes on the left side. On the right side is going to be our reaction from it. So the right side is from our mind. So it could be your reaction, it could be a prediction that you have, an explanation that you have for why something happened, or an idea. Anything that it makes you think is what we'll put on the right side. So I have this made up on our Google Doc. So we are going to start reading the text. It is the same passage that I chose for the last one about Sir Gobble. So we kind of already know what's going to happen, but that's totally fine. You got to read stuff more than once to understand it. All right. And that's not the right one. Let me see here. Oh gosh, I said so much stuff. Oh. Okay. So as you can see, it's already kind of marked up from. Okay. So Bessie Curtis resided with her aunt and uncle on a farm. She was very worried. Bessie enjoyed the country and she loved her uncle and aunt. However, something deeply disturbed her. As the summer passed and the autumn came, she had moments when she looked incredibly sad. What was the reason for her sadness? I can tell you because I was there. So as you can see, I went through, and when I was reading it, I highlighted these two parts just because they were interesting to me. So I ended up writing them in my T-chart. So from the left side, from the text, what happened? So I wrote, as the summer passed and the autumn came, she had moments when she looked incredibly sad. From my mind, what it made me think, or my reaction, why I wondered why. Why did she look so sad? I typed that down over here. I can tell you because I was there. When I read that, that made me wonder who is telling this story. Let's see. Early in the spring, her uncle had given her a young turkey. There, Bessie, he had said, that is one of the prettiest turkeys I've ever seen. Sorry, Theo's yelling, I know. I will give him into your care, and on Thanksgiving Day, we will have him on the dinner table. So after reading that paragraph, the part that stood out to me that I wanted to write down was, I will give him into your care, and on Thanksgiving Day, we will have him on the dinner table. So that kind of gave me an explanation of why Bessie must. For some time, Bessie fed the turkey every day without feeling particularly fond of him. Very soon, however, he began to know her. He not only ran to meet her when she brought him his corn and meal, but he would follow her about just the way Mary's little lamb followed her about. I thought that part was interesting, that last sentence there, just because it's showing me that, oh no, Bessie is starting to get, well, the turkey is starting to get attached to Bessie, which could be bad. Okay, so now let's do the next part together, the next few paragraphs. I'll have you read them, and then together we'll go through and decide what we should write down in our T chart. Okay, so I don't know, whenever you're ready.
Her uncle often called after her, and everywhere that Bessie goes, the turkey is sure to go. And why would she be so sad? Alas, she remembered her uncle's words when he gave her the turkey. On Thanksgiving Day, we'll have him on the table. Thanksgiving Day would be here in a week. Now, if Bessie had been like some little girls, she would have told her trouble to her uncle. But she never mentioned it to anyone, although she cried herself to sleep several nights before Thanksgiving Day. At last the day came, and Bessie, instead of going out to the yard as usual, kept in the house all the morning. She was afraid that if she went outside she would not find her beloved friend. Dinner time came, and with a heavy heart she seated herself at the table. Her uncle and aunt saw how upset she seemed.
Okay, let's go through those 3 paragraphs that you just read, and let's pull out some things that were interesting to us. Is there anything right away that pops out to you? Let's see. Well, this part right here, on Thanksgiving Day, we will have him on the table. I know I put that right there, but again, that's another part that seems pretty important. Oops. So that made me feel like, oh no. The turkey, Bessie might have to eat turkey. What would you pull out of any of those 3 paragraphs that you read just now?
Although she cried herself to sleep, but she never mentioned it to anyone, although she cried herself to sleep several nights before Thanksgiving Day.
And how does that make you react? What is your reaction to that?
I guess she is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's sad that she might have to eat the turkey once again, and that she's very sad of having to do it.
Definitely, it kind of shows us that maybe Bessie does like the turkey. Okay. Okay, if you want to finish reading the rest of this, and then I'm going to have you tell me what you would pull out.
Okay. Come, said her uncle. We must cheer up. There are no sad looks on Thanksgiving Day. Maria, bring in the turkey. Poor Bessie, she could not bring herself to look up as the door opened, and something was brought in on a big platter. As the platter was placed on the table, she saw that it did indeed hold her turkey, but he was alive and well. Her uncle said, Why, Bessie, did you think I would kill your pet? No, indeed, but I told you he should be on the table Thanksgiving Day. So here he is. Then Bessie's uncle struck the turkey gently with his carving knife, the way the queen strikes a man with a sword when she makes him a knight. Behold, said Bessie's uncle, I dub you Sir Gobble. You shall never be killed, but die a natural death, and never be parted from Bessie. Now you may guess who I am. I was there all the time. I have feathers.
Okay. What parts would you pull out that made you think or have a reaction?
Maria, bring in the turkey. That part.
And what
My
reaction?
that my reaction was that the turkey was going to be cooked and that Bessie would be very sad to see that.
Hmm? Definitely. I thought that too. What's another part that you would pull out?
As the platter was placed on the table, she saw that it did indeed hold her turkey, but he was alive and well.
And how did that make you feel? What was your reaction to that part?
She was very happy that he was still there
Yeah.
and that they did not cook him and that she didn't have to eat him.
All right. What else would you pull out of these last few things? What else did you think was important to the story or
Why, Bessie, did you think I would kill your pet? No, indeed, but I told her he should be on the table Thanksgiving Day, so here he is.
and how did that make you feel?
That Bessie might have been confused on it, that he was alive, alive on it and on the table.
Yep, there was definitely some miscommunication, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was a miscommunication. Awesome. All right. What about in the last two parts? What do you think was important to remember there?
Behold, said Bessie's uncle I.W. Sir Gobble, you shall never be killed, but die a natural death, and never be parted from Bessie.
Mhm. And why do you think that was? How did that make you feel? Why is that important to you?
That I don't know, actually, he dubbed him Sir Gobble.
Yeah, it was just kind of a funny part, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from this that you would write down that you thought was important or really made you think?
Not really. Not now.
Awesome. So that's kind of how you do that. You read a text, and if anything stands out to you, if you think it's anything that stands out to you, you write it down, and then you write down why you chose it, how it made you feel, what you think might happen because of that part, just how you felt about it. So this is good because you can keep this in a reading journal, and then you can go back and look at it anytime you want. If you're reading a really long book and maybe you forget what happened in it, you can go back and look at this and remember these main parts that you thought were important in the story. So that's just another way to stay engaged in your reading. Stop my screen share here. All right. Thanks for doing that lesson with me, Daisy.
You're welcome.